Yuki Cross or Yuki Kuran, however you prefer it, is actually one of the main protagonists of the Vampire Knight series. As I said in my previous video, that Vampire Knight was actually the first ever adult sort of anime that I've ever watched. If you haven't checked this video right here, go ahead and check it out. But as I said before in that video as well, that I said that Vampire Knight Guilty, which is the second season of the Vampire Knight anime, is actually a lot more better than the first season of Vampire Knight. I don't know, it's just always been like that with me. And as I said also in that video as well, is that when I actually saw just the ending episode of episode 10, is like when she was just picking up the gun that Zero left him basically in the room. And then afterwards watching the end credits of Vampire Knight Guilty. Like, some people actually do like Yuki Cross, the way how she is, and the way how natural she wants things to be, and how happy she would like to be. But also, that kind of actually proves that in some cases that she kind of proves to be a little bit weak. Well, at least that's what sometimes the haters say. As for me, I'm not the kind of person to be able to hate on a character. Except if they're very bad and absolutely nasty, well, guess what? I would hate them. But for me, Yuki Cross is basically one of the most lovable characters to just basically adore, and I mean that sincerely. So let's just get it straight on to the point though, where I say that why is Yuki is such a lovable and great character to be in the Vampire Knight series, and why that some people may think that she's not technically the greatest. Starting off with the positives, of course, we all know about Yuki and how very great she is and how much of an amazing, caring person that she has. She has such a very caring and lovable personality that she has towards others, that she doesn't really want to be able to focus anything on herself until basically that's when she wants to try to remember things from her past. She wanted to be able to have humans and vampires to coexist ever since when she knew that she was actually a vampire. She does have a few skills, and sometimes with her, I mean, if you haven't seen the manga, apparently the original Vampire Knight manga is very different to how skilled she was in the Vampire Knight anime. I mean, yeah, she's still got the Artemis, which is basically a weapon that can actually, pretty much kill vampires. Let alone with the fact that, as a vampire herself, she can actually wield this sort of weapon, which is kind of insane. Then again, it was a weapon that was actually once held by her own mother during Kuran. And it's funny, they actually do have that little funny, goofy kind of personality whenever they stuff up, which is actually kind of funny. And that's also the other little thing that a lot of people kind of like her a lot. It's just due to the little goofiness and all that sort of stuff, all those funny moments happening. Ah, man. I can never forget that. That is just so good. But there are some wholesome moments in time where Yuki does manage to do a few things. Especially that time when Yori actually tries to help out Yuki trying to get her Artemis back in Vampire Knight Guilty. That had to be one of the most heartfelt moments ever that I saw in Vampire Knight. Seriously. And if anyone does not think about that, then what are you? You built stupid. There were also a lot of moments when Yuki Cross was actually a child back then, and probably I feel like a lot of people will definitely love that, especially some of the moves. Well, I mean, I guess you could say that was a cute moment, I guess. I mean, Kaname was laughing out loud crazy over here. You never see that happen every time. Actually, Zero did actually laugh one time when someone actually called Yuki a brat, which is absolutely hilarious. You never see Zero laugh when Yuki goes mad on something like that. Not to also mention that Yuki is a bit of a sweet tooth when it comes to desserts, which that makes no surprise to be. It's no big surprise that, that she is such a sweet tooth. She has a thing for desserts as well. Kind of like Cynthia from Pokemon, I guess. Which is basically the only thing I can pretty much come up in my head. Which, by the way, also, if you haven't collected the Vampire Knight Memories manga, she is pretty much like a even powerful character that she has been in the anime, especially in the original Vampire Knight manga before Memories, which, first off, number one, she freaking kills Rito properly, which is absolutely nuts. And if you don't know that, then you should go ahead and check out Negative Legends videos right here, because Negative Legend pretty much brings up like Vampire Knight like in the best way possible. It is so good. The way how he actually describes about it and how he talks about it like very respectfully. It's so good. And I just love it how he actually just talks about it, and he just like there are some funny moments, but like I understand where he's actually coming from, and it's so good to actually see someone who is actually trying to, you know, explain stuff like that, even about the whole franchise itself, which is amazing. So go ahead and check him out. Negative Legend is, well, a legend for for talking about Vampire Knight, which is absolutely amazing. Aside the fact, but aside from Negative Legend, I have seen a few other content creators out there who actually did react to Vampire Knight all the way from beginning to end. Like these ones, for example, not exactly the greatest I will probably see when I've seen them from beginning to end, which was like, it's a bit meh. This guy was good. He actually has a bit of he had a fair, disagreement to why he doesn't really technically like it, I guess. So I respect that. It's fine, actually. Some of them actually have their own reviews, basically, in some cases. I don't know if you remember, Anime America, if that's what if that's the right name. I've seen it before, and it was like, really? You guys think it's that bad? Okay. But as for me, I've always just been loving it for like most of my life, so yeah. But anyway, for those who actually do like Yuki, in a sense that she has like all these qualities about her and she loves everything, you cannot make me change my mind of how I like Yuki, along with the other main characters like Zero and Kaname Kuran. Obviously, they're the best. I mean, a lot of people also speculate, and guess what? This is the part where we go to the negative part now. Why do people actually do not technically like Yuki as much? Just due to the fact that she is wanting to, like, you know, figure out her past, which kind of made her a little bit weak in a sense that she just wanted to get it through. She wanted answers. I mean, it's fair for saying that because guess what? Kaname was not really, like, Kaname was not really giving much any much answers until finally went due to the point when she was just about to lose her mind. I mean, he then decides to like basically finally put it all together for her, which was a bit not really the greatest thing to do. I mean, you could have just helped her properly. You could have just talked to her or something. Have Kyan Cross with her. I don't understand why Kyan Cross was not stepping in for this. I don't understand why. Also, for somehow, like, at some point in time, because I got Vampire Knight Volume Manga 14, and apparently she got arrested for having to do something. I forgot what it was, but, like, because she wanted to stop Kaname from doing something terrible, which technically he did. And apparently she literally got arrested for that. I was like, you're kidding, right? I mean, some parts in the anime also specifically are kind of like what not make Yuki like the strongest character. I mean, I'm not saying that she doesn't do anything. I mean, she's trying to find her own self. She's trying to find her way. She's trying to find her inner self. Then lately afterwards, like after when she knows that she is the Pure Blood Princess and everyone else knows that she is the Pure Blood Princess to Kaname, then they basically all of a sudden start having to protect her and she can't be able to do anything. And that kind of makes it a little bit sad due to the fact that she can't be able to fight. They've been taking her from room to room, especially with Ido Hanabusa. I mean, come on, let the girl fight. I mean, thankfully she did manage to fight and kill Rito like an absolute badass, so you could have made it exactly what they did that in the manga and put that into the anime. I mean, there's just a bit like this whole argument going on between Ruka and Yuki, just saying it's like, you can't fight, I want to fight. It was just like, oh my god. Come on, let the girl fight already. She's been itching for a fight, this woman. She wants to stop her uncle. I mean, at least she does decent somehow in the anime when she unlocks the true power of her Artemis. Then on the other hand, like, you know, Kaname and Zero actually work together for the first time. When I first noticed that, I was like, what the heck? Zero and Kaname working together? When the heck did that happen? I'm pretty sure these two were people that don't get along too well. But it happened, which, by the way, I will admit, that was actually pretty much one of the best moments, at least one of the best Zero and Kaname moments that ever having to work together. Even if it was just like a freaking split 20 seconds or 30. And don't even start with the whole point in the sense that due to the fact that Yuki is actually Kaname's sister, there are a few certain awkward stuff in there, which, by the way, when I heard about this stuff, when I saw that, I was like, how? Huh? To me, I was just younger, but as I slowly then progressed when I got older, I kind of understood what was going on, but like, it's not really much of a good thing, okay? You really can't necessarily do that. You can't even do that in real life. Like, that is like the worst thing that you could possibly do. I mean, having to be wife and husband as a sister and a brother just does not feel well. I mean, by the way, I've heard anime that are way worse than that. So at least Vampire Knight is not as bad as some of the other freaking anime out there that have that sort of eye to the T, shall we say. But that's what a lot of people would mostly hate about, because as a lot of people would actually speculate that Yuki is probably the better match for Zero Kiryu and not Kaname Kuran, because why the heck would Yuki ever be with her brother as her wife? I mean, yeah. That's not exactly ideal. And yes, I understand that she had, and I'm very well aware because I have all of the Vampire Knight memory mangas from 1 to 8. I've read them all. I know that she had Kuran with Kaname, I know that. And then afterwards, when she went to Zero, she actually had Ren Kuran. So, 2 daughters, actually. I don't understand why people say that Ren Kuran is actually like a boy. Why does everyone keep getting that confused? Ren is a freaking female. They're both females, for crying out loud. At least the good news is, at least Yuki, finally admits that, you know, she can't be with Kaname as like his wife, let alone that she is actually Kaname's sister, because how is that right? I honestly feel like that it was kind of better that, you know, Zero Kiryu was actually the better match for the Yuki. I felt like it made so much more sense. And I know you're going to talk about the whole, however, I wish I were her older brother. That made me much happier. Yeah, okay, well, I'll probably get to that part at some point. Which, by the way, they did do a conversation about that during at some sort of interview or something like that. Which I need to look that up. I gotta remember. It's there. Even the main actors of Vampire Knight had no idea. Like, they were just so... They were lost. They were completely lost in the mix. I'll just tell you that now. But yeah, like, that's the only thing... That's what a lot of people would probably think, that Yuki's not technically the greatest character. But then in some cases, when you think of it this way, at least she had a good... She at least actually managed to have a great life. And... you know, she lived it well, and she tried to become the leader of the vampires, and then afterwards having to become the leader of the vampires, which is absolutely nuts. But anyways, I feel like that should be it for today, so hopefully that makes a lot of sense. Hopefully, that was enough to be able to convince you that why there are some points. So what do you guys think? Do you think that Yuki Cross is a good character in Vampire Knight? Do you think she's actually not that great? You can never change my mind into thinking that Yuki's a good character. Is not a good character, okay? Yuki Cross is a good character. There's a reason why, and don't get any ideas, because if you do, I will find you. You can never change my mind that Yuki Cross is not a good character. I like her. Doesn't matter whether she's a human or a vampire. She's fine just the way she is, okay? I know a lot of people have their own opinions also on the whole Vampire Knight series. I know that, and I understand that. Especially with those specific other things. But in all case, I'll let you guys be, and that'll be it for today. So, hope you guys like this video. Please like, subscribe if you haven't already. Stay safe, stay healthy, and like always, my name is Mad Dog, and let your days be mad and rad.